I'm 42 years old, and I've been married to my husband Rob for 20 years, and we have two daughters, Rachel that's 15, and I have a daughter Kendall that's 8. And I just enjoy spending time with them and seeing them do all of their activities, and I enjoy cooking and just going to sporting events. I was diagnosed with cancer in January in 2007 at the age of 35. I was diagnosed with DCIS, stage 1 breast cancer. I was just shocked and just was in disbelief. I had no family history of breast cancer, and I just decided at that point that I was just going to, accept the diagnosis and just see what treatment needed to be done so that I could just hit it head on and move forward. I have never been one to just sit back and dwell on it. I have not let the cancer be center stage in our life. People always say like, oh, I don't know how you guys do that, and how do you guys just live your life normally? But once I received that diagnosis, that was, our new normal. It was really the only style of life that my little one knew, because she wasn't even 2 years old at the time. And so we just always focused on the positive. I never thought that there was any need to just dwell on, the what ifs or the why me's. I just wanted to just take it for what it was, get a plan in place, because I'm just a very organized person and like to take charge, and I just didn't, I didn't like the idea of something else being in control of me, and I just wanted to take the diagnosis and do whatever plan my doctor said and just move forward with it. My doctor at the time, his plan was just to do a mastectomy and followed by reconstruction. And then he said that due to the nature of the cancer, that I did not need radiation, I did not need chemotherapy, I did not have any lymph nodes involved. And so he just recommended a mastectomy, and then I started taking the drug tamoxifen. The tamoxifen just kicked me into menopause, and just dealing with the effects of that and hot flashes, and I physically and mentally, I guess I wasn't quite ready for that at 35, but that was the side effects I had mostly was the hot flashes. We have a local breast cancer alliance there in town that offered support and outreach, and then just with my own circle of friends and family members. Luckily, we live in a town that my husband grew up in. We were, centered there, and we had a great base of family and friends, and then also our church family, and they all helped out. I found out that I had liver tumors in January of 2009. It was 2 years after my breast cancer diagnosis. I became really ill. The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and after a battery of testing, we found out that it was a stage 4 metastatic breast cancer in my liver. We were just shocked, my husband and I and my whole family. We just couldn't believe the diagnosis, because we were led to believe, we thought that the breast cancer, the mastectomy would have taken care of that, and but they said that it was just like a 1 in a million chance that just a little piece of that breast cancer had decided to settle itself in my liver. And so we were just shocked at the news. Our next step was my current oncologist, he just said there wasn't anything he could do for me, and that I had about 3 months to live. And my husband and I just were like, if we're just not going to accept that. I'm young, I've got 2 girls that I want to see grow up, and we are going to go see what someone else says, and we'll just move on from there. And so my family doctor had suggested an oncologist that his mother had used, and he said, he's about your same age. He said, I think he'll get it, and he'll do everything he can to help you beat this. And so we drove through a blizzard to get to our appointment, and the first thing that this oncologist said was, he said, this isn't a curable kind of cancer, but I can most certainly treat it. And I don't want you to get panicked by what you read on the internet, because every person is unique. Every person responds differently to treatment. So you can't compare yourself to other people that's been through this. And so he just gave us that, that piece of hope that we needed at that time, to know that there were options out there, and this wasn't the end. Our family doctor had recommended Dr. Gupta to us, and we just liked him right off the bat. Dr. Gupta's treatment plan was that he said he was going to have to draw out the big guns, because the radiologist and Dr. Gupta said that my liver looked like Swiss cheese. We weren't just dealing with one lobe or the other, or 2 or 3 tumors. We were dealing with a lot of tumors, and they were growing at a very rapid rate. And so he did what was called TAC, and it was Taxol, andromycin, and Cytoxin. And it really knocked me out. I mean, it was not easy to go through. We, thank goodness, we had a lot of help from family and friends that came and, basically helped me run the household and take care of my girls during that time. But it did do the trick. I mean, it got it under control, and our goal the whole time was just, just to stop it from growing and stop it from spreading. After the TAC, my body did respond well to that. The tumors shrunk. They got down to a reasonable size and number, and Dr. Gupta put me on an oral type of chemotherapy, and I did that for about 8 months, and of not having to do the intravenous chemotherapy. After the oral drug, I got PET scans about every 3 months to just see if there was anything growing or changing, and we found out that I had tumors starting in my liver again, and we started the intravenous chemotherapy again, and I did that for several months. And then I was able to get a break because we got it under control again. Or as Dr. Gupta says, we're just putting out fires, and so that's what we did. And then a little while after that, I started having pain in my back and shoulders, and we found out that the cancer had spread to my scapula and my sacrum and a few of my vertebrae. And so I started radiation treatments right away. And I did that for about 4 months, and it took care of that. It got rid of that. And so then I had a little bit of a break again, and it's kind of a recurring theme with me, how my tumors will just kind of lay dormant for a little while, and then they'll just start going crazy again. And so I had to start chemotherapy again, and then Dr. Gupta said if we could get these down to a small number and a reasonable size. I have a guy over at St. Vincent over in Indianapolis that's doing this treatment called Y90, the SIR spheres, and I think that you will be a good candidate for that. And so this past fall, I was able to get 2 of those treatments. I had one October 30th, and I had another one November 15th. And it was great. And those when we saw the scan after that, we never thought that we'd see my liver look like that did, because the one was just nothing but scar tissue, and then the other one was just shrunk down, and just my liver just looked almost normal. What was my response to SIR spheres? It was a relief to be able to have that as an option for me. My husband and I had researched it, and we kind of kept that in our back pocket for the last couple of years, but just because I kept having a lot of things going on, I was never a good candidate for it. And when Dr. Martinez explained the procedure with the minimal side effects, and we knew my body just needed a rest, and it was just an outpatient procedure. I had just a little pain in the incision area for a couple of days, and I was just kind of tired for about 2 or 3 days, and then after that I had no other side effects from it. Would I have the Y90 spheres surgery again? Definitely. I'm hoping that that will be another treatment option for me in the future. I have tumors that have crept up again this past couple of weeks, and I started chemotherapy again, but we're hoping that once the tumors get under control again and shrunk down in size and number, that the Y90 spheres will be an option for me again. Say yes to hope.